American jobs relatively start at the age of 15. As a teenager, jobs vary from after-school or weekend jobs. This includes pizza delivery, grocery store employee, retail, waiter or waitress, and animal shelter worker. If a teenager is very good with technology, they may become a web designer. And of course, there are one-time jobs like mowing a lawn, babysitting, or gardening. The United States minimum wage is $7.25 per hour. Pay will vary from $7 to $28 for part-time jobs. The French minimum wage is estimated to be around 10 euros per hour, which is $11.22 US dollars, making the French salary greater by almost $4. In France and more populated areas like Paris and Versailles, the biggest requirement is the ability to be fluent in English, while in the States, even in populated cities, companies focus on work ethic. This has made many states and restaurants add the requirement of being able to speak English due to tourism purposes, and English being the most common language besides Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. This is why the most popular and high-paying French jobs for teenagers will be tutoring or being a tour guide, where they teach someone English or English is the language being used. Most French parents would want an English-speaking babysitter or nanny due to wanting their children or child to know English. Summer teenage jobs, of course, vary from easy to hard. This includes jobs like a camp counselor, lifeguard, and caddy. In France, it is possible to do short periods of holiday work of a kind suitable to the child's age, not, for example, working in a bar. This is as long as the child's parents' permission is given. They can only work during holiday periods of half of that vacation number. For example, if the holiday is 8 days, he or she would only be allowed 4 days of work, at least 14 days, and the child must have at least half the holiday off. Therefore, a Saturday job would not be possible for an individual who is under the age of 16. Even after this, there's more. Due to French and American schools being different, circumstances change. Yes, schools in the same country may differ in some circumstances, but still share the same consistency as the school around it. For my example, I will be talking about Simon Kitten and another school in France. For starters, Simon Kitten starts at around 7:40 a.m. and ends at 2:30 p.m. French schools start at 8 a.m. and end at 4:55 p.m. French schools have class on Saturday and school lets out at noon. This seems okay, but many teenagers in America go to work on the weekends at an early hour, which may be as early as 6 a.m. for a full day's work shift. You must be thinking, why the heck am I talking about French and American schools when I should be talking about jobs? The reason I am explaining these differences is because the work schedule corresponds with a student's school schedule. Most teenagers in the United States go to work around 3 p.m. after school or on the weekends and work their shift. Since French students leave their schools much later, a job will be much more of a challenge.